that we continue to be vigilant with our situations that surround us north of us and down through our county, and that you'll protect those that live in the bottoms area, that you'll watch over and care for our levees, that we can get past this crisis, and all the people that are working so hard to make this happen. We as always pray for this board, for this county, the employees of the county. We will continue to serve and do the right things. We pray that you'll guide the decisions with wisdom, forgive us of our sins in Christ's name.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do the roll call, please.
Commissioner Pitts.
Here.
Commissioner Tuller.
Here.
Commissioner Foster.
Here.
Commissioner Miller.
Here.
Commissioner Bowie.
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda, we have minutes from our regular meeting on May the 10th. Yeah, 10th. Everybody had a chance to look at those? Any questions?
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes. Then we have minutes, regular meeting on May the 24th. Everybody look those over. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner Pitts.
Yes.
Commissioner Tuller.
Yes.
Commissioner Foster.
Yes.
Commissioner Miller.
Yes.
And Commissioner Bowie.
Yes.
Next on the agenda, public comments. Anybody have anything you want to holler about or praise? Nothing? Move on to committee reports. Anybody have any reports they want to give, please, on the committee you're on?
Yeah, that's, we had a 911 meeting, and Grant's the vice chairman, and he's the one that conducted the meeting. We took bids for an HVAC system at Green Ridge in Alexander County. We had a recommendation from NovaCom that we be able to heat and cool the equipment in that building. So we took those bids. We also agreed to do a software license and support agreement with Digital. We had workstation support and maintenance agreement with Digital. And we purchased a license for 3 positions for maintenance and support from Solcom. Grant, you can confirm that, you know, if I'm getting it all right.
You get it right.
I'll also say that all Alexander accounts, 911 accounts, have been transferred to the joint account, and that Crystal and Sheriff are working on the digital radio system RFP, so there's quite a bit going on there. On 7-5, they're working on a DOJ will request application to the Sheriff's Department, and that's at 50/50 grant. There's usually no meeting in July, so the Shawnee Development, the meeting has been canceled for this month, but just want to let you know that what I talked about at the last meeting about the IRT training down in Alexander County in Carroll started today at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so you may see it on television or news about that. That runs for a week, and a lot of the people at Shawnee, or Southern Power donated their time, to work down there with, the reservists that are doing that program. The food truck will be in Monday. They went back to the old schedule, it's gonna be the third Monday of each month. But last time we didn't have quite as many as we'd like to have, so if anybody's got any free time at 10 o'clock Monday morning, come out and show and help, so we appreciate that. And that's it.
I've got a couple things. First, I don't know if everybody has seen this advertised or whatever, but Southern Seven Health Department is having a shred and med disposal day, July the 20th, 9 a.m. to noon here at the courthouse. It's free, so sure we'll see more advertisements on this between now and then, but kind of spread the word. That's a good service, and we need to support that as much as possible. Bobby and I attended the Economic Development Joint Meeting with the Chamber this week. All I'll say at this time is it was very, very productive, so hopefully good news to come. In the process of scheduling a meeting with the city of Anna on animal control, basically on the land for possibly a new facility. They have formed a committee, supposed to be getting in touch with me to get this kind of, that's you and Kent's committee to kind of get this show on the road, hopefully. We still have some details to work through, but then also I have some real good news. Lance is on vacation to get this put together in great fashion, and so I think that's all great news for the county. Hopefully we can, the $38,000, I mean, that's money we have already spent. Past election mainly for voter machine maintenance, but we're gonna get it back, so excellent. Excellent, good job. I think that's all I have. Anybody else have anything?
First is for Jacob Wilson, 0408025151, is for a cabin, subdivision or floodplain issue, looking for approval. Next, Shane Osmond, 0528039518, is for a new home, no subdivision or floodplain issues, recommended for approval.
Any questions? Can I get a motion to approve or disapprove the building unit, please? I'll say,
Commissioner Pitts,
yes.
Commissioner Tiller,
Yes.
Commissioner Foster,
Yes.
Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Rea.
While you're standing up, you want to give, well, I will say this before he does. Him and Dana, Scott, the sheriff, that was along with the three and other people, the weather commissioners, are doing an outstanding job. These guys, I've received 2 or 3 phone calls every day for the last 2 weeks from one of them, or all of them. Let us know what you think the situation is now and how things are going.
Well, River's Crest, Cape, and we're hoping to get some relief soon. The joy of sand boils is they typically continue 5 or 6 days after the crest. So we're still holding our breath probably for the next 2 or 3 days. They're monitoring some of the more serious boils daily, checking them 2 or 3 times a day, and the foam is not bringing as much as it has been. So I think it's subsiding. So tell Jeff, we're cautiously optimistic. So where we're at now.
We'll add the commissioners and Kevin and Dana and Scott and Crystal and several people had a meeting earlier this week with the acting IEMA director for the state of Illinois. Just giving us update information, things that we should or should not be doing. It's very informative, but it's, I just say again, it's been a very, very joint work together deal.
Yeah, there's been an army of people out there.
So, all right, appreciate it. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin. Okay, moving on. Under old business, ground transportation agreement by and between Airback EMS and Union County Ambulance Service. I think we had tabled this previously, Grant.
Correct.
And this is ready to go now, is that
We've
correct?
been back through the language and we met with them again. I had Angie come to that meeting to make sure that we understood their language completely, and I think they cleared some things up for us. Their language is somewhat confusing on how the reimbursement for some of those services would be. This will mark the first time that we've ever been able to get one of these corporations to the table where some of this reimbursement would come back to the county as it should. So we're working on that. We will move to the next one. We have another one behind this that we're starting to work on now with another provider, and then we'll be moving on collectively trying to get these contracts in place so this will create some revenue to help out.
What this actually in layman terms amounts to, I know everybody sees the helicopters go in and out periodically from the hospital. That requires the ambulance service to go to the hospital, load the patient up, take the patient to the helicopter on site there, which again includes time, labor, everything else. In the past, it's just been kind of a free service. And Grant has been working on this to make sure that we maybe start getting paid some money for doing that since it's actually official labor. So appreciate that. May I have a motion to accept this agreement? I've attended a couple meetings with him. As far as the ambulance service is concerned, on billing process for basically transfers that the hospital calls us to do. We're not mandated to do them, but a lot of times that individual patient does not have insurance or any way to pay the bill, but we take them because we feel like we should. So we're also still working on that. I think we've been reimbursed, and I appreciate that. New business, approval of payment of bills. Everybody had a chance to look at the bill sheet. Anybody have any questions? If not, can I get a motion to pay our bills?
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Poole?
Next on the agenda, acceptance of 2018 Union County audit. We're going to table this for the time being. Angie, you want to kind of expound on that a little?
Yes, they were hoping to have a copy of our draft audit to Betty, and that they are hoping to have it ready either next week or the beginning of the following week to present at the next board meeting at the end of June.
Thank you. Next, ordinance authorizing a mutual aid box alarm system agreement. We are also going to table that as the whole business for the next meeting. You want to say anything about that?
We're just working on making sure we can format it the way you want for your ordinance structure. I've been in contact with the state director on that, and the purpose of this is so that if needed, we can bring resources into Union County and hopefully minimize or wipe out any costs on calling in specialized teams for things that we don't do on a normal basis. So the reverse of that is that we would be helping and being in their box alarm system if they needed mutual aid to help them with medical coverage or something like that. So yeah, the dues on it are very minimal, but the return on what Union County can get will pay off. So it's a good system. So
We have that ready to go next meeting.
we hope to. Yes.
Next on the agenda, a resolution appointing members of the Health Options for Public Entities Joint Self-Insurance Risk Pool Association Board of Directors, which we are a member and subscribe to, utilize. This has to be elected official. Terry Barker was the previous person on this board, is that correct, wasn't it? Yeah.
Terry, and then we appointed Vonda.
And then appointed Bonda, so we need to do a new appointment.
I'll make a motion to appoint Max Miller to the Joint Self-Insurance Risk Pool Association Board of Directors. Second.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Abstain.
And then Commissioner Poole?
Yes.
I think they meet, what, once a year?
They have one major meeting a year in September.
Next on the agenda, ordinance authorizing and providing for issuance of not to exceed $12 million general obligation refunding bonds. Series 219 for County of Union, and for the levy of direct annual tax sufficient to pay the principal of the interest on said bonds. Basically, in layman's terms, what this means we will allow Bernardi Securities to seek a lower interest rate bearing bonds on our behalf with the intent to pay off the courthouse bonds early, which would amount to 15 to 20 years from now. When this is formally presented to the board, the actual rate at that time, we have to send us a formal plan to the board to act on. Second.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Poole?
Next on the agenda, ordinance amending Article 12 of Chapter 36 of the Union County Code of Ordinances regarding civil fees and criminal and traffic assessments to be charged by the clerk of the circuit court. Tiffany, you want to expound upon this? I mean, I think I'm right on this. It's
120, it's not gonna go to 164, and that's gonna be the same for all the way down to Pulaski or Alexander, it's gonna be the same statewide. And then they've also implemented waivers for the court system, and they're basing it off of like poverty income, so 100,000 family of four, or 50,000 is 100%. It's gonna affect us tremendously. The only strategy that we've been able to discuss is myself, Tyler, and Judge Ferris met yesterday because he's been trying to come up with strategies in his county, is the assessment waiver will not take away your fine or drug money. So if we assess a higher fine, then you can make up some of the difference of where you're gonna lose your other fees for assessments, because it's no longer a fee. Our civil, luckily, I mean, we're about to stay the same there. You have increased, so we should make up some difference on civil, but you're not gonna take the direct impact, because, I mean, you're gonna waive state's attorney money, medical, judicial. I mean, it's gonna be across the board. It's gonna impact the sheriff, myself, state's attorney, all the court system. So if we can assess, like, they're trying to do the strategy to do a higher fine and still your drug money, to maybe then we can triple them and still have some assessment coming in.
Well, like I said, unfortunately, this is mandated by the state, like a lot of other things going on right now. Not the one saying that I don't appreciate it.
Right, that is correct. It's gonna hit everybody. The judges have been to all our trainings too, and they're trying to help us because they know it's gonna affect all the counties. I mean, and there's nothing, I mean, their hands are tied because of how they've promoted it north of us, and now it's the whole state.
But we don't have a choice but to approve this because it's, what, July 1st is this one that?
Yes, July 1st.
Yeah.
And Judge Williamson, our chief judge, has already signed, because once this is signed today, but he already had to implement to sign that once this is passed, and then that's, you know, we can go ahead and start collecting as of July 1st. So we've got that in taken care of as well. So, because otherwise we've only been able to collect the $11. So we've got that in taken care of too.
As far as I'm concerned, it's just another way that they're taking money away from small counties, but nevertheless.
I did explain to Angie too, and I wanted to hit on it with you all, is when state police runs our interstates and they write our traffic tickets, we were a percentage, so we would also receive a kickback from that, and that's no longer true. So if state police writes the ticket, 100% goes to state police.
Great. I have a motion to approve this ordinance.
I'll move that.
Second.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Tiller?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Gould?
Yes.
Don't think we have anything for executive session, do we? Is there any other business anybody needs to bring up?
Move to adjourn. Second.
Commissioner Fix?
Yes.
Commissioner Tiller?
Yes.
Commissioner Foster?
Yes.
Commissioner Miller?
Yes.
Commissioner Gould?
Thanks, everybody, for coming, appreciate it.